So hopefully you have a pretty good understanding of what EdgeRank is and what it can do for your Facebook fan page success. So what Lizzie and I are going to go through right now are some tips to kind of get you above the competition as far as your EdgeRank. And understand when we say competition, we're not just saying the barn down the street or the trainer down the street. When you're on Facebook, you have more than just businesses that you're competing against. You're competing against friends of friends who are posting funny cat stories out there. You're competing against other businesses who your fans are liking, who are outside the horse industry. So there's a ton of competition out there that are competing for your fans' attention. So we want you to be kind of in the best seat possible to take advantage of what Facebook can give you as a marketing tool, because it really can be a powerful marketing tool. I know we see month after month a large portion of our website traffic comes from Facebook, so it can be a very valuable tool. All right, so we talked about consistency a little bit earlier. I just wanted to show you, I'm not even sure which pages these are from, but just some stats from two different time periods. It looks like the same time period, different pages. And I'll explain these. These are Facebook gives you what's called insights, which is their version of stats for what's happening on your page. If you look at this, the top one here, these large kind of purple circles at the bottom are an indication of how many posts and what days those posts were made on. So you can see that the slightly larger ones may indicate 2 or 3 posts on that day, and then the smaller ones maybe indicate 1 post. And then you can see there's some gaps in there where there was maybe no post made at all. On the bottom one, you can see there's more of a consistent posting, maybe at least 2 postings per day, sometimes 3 or more. There's very few gaps in there. And then if you look at the rest of the information on here, the kind of green line is the number of people talking about these posts and this page. And then the blue line is the total reach that your posts get out to. So if you often see the total reach of a page is much more than what your fan page is, because that means the friends of your fans are also seeing this and maybe commenting on it as well too. But you can see on the bottom one where there's more consistent posting going on, there's also a better, kind of a healthier growth curve on the interaction and on the total reach. All right, so I'm going to pass over to Lizzie here. She's going to discuss a little bit about the kind of the new timeline stuff that's going on and how visuals can help you.
Okay, so Facebook has always been, visuals have always worked really well on Facebook with people interacting with photos 53% more than an average post, where they get 53% more likes. And then they also 104 more comments, or 104% more comments than an average post. So their images are really, really important. The great thing about that for horse trainers and horse people is that with your phones nowadays and with where you are doing your work, you are right where the action is. So you're in a fantastic place to use Facebook, whether you're at an event and taking pictures and posting them, or you're just at the barn. But this picture here is one that I created. I don't know, I saw the look on the people's faces, and it just came to me to caption it this way. And it got shared like crazy. It was, I think now it even, since this image was taken, it has about 1,000 more shares. And in addition to it helping our EdgeRank, the other thing that it did was it increased the number of likes that we had. So our page likes grew, and as did our EdgeRank. And then if you go to the next, well, actually, I'll talk a little bit more about some of the changes. What Facebook is doing in the changes is that they're essentially, again, making the images even bigger. This will be the case for not just photos this time, but videos as well. And so what they're trying to do is make it to where when you are looking at a post, and they're also trying to make it to where there's a lot more consistency for the mobile user so that they have virtually the same experience as the online user. So what you will see now as it switches over, which right now it's not available yet, you can get on a waiting list for the new Facebook newsfeed, but when they do switch over to it, it's going to be even more visual. So your visuals are going to become even more important. But what we found, and some of the things that we do, is we use visuals as a strategy. So, and this is something that we get asked all the time. Well, if it's all just about posting funny things, how does that actually end up creating business? So some of the things to think about when you're sharing a visual, if it happens to be really popular and you've gotten a lot of engagement, your edge rank has just gone up, and so you may want to, after you've shared something fun, then share something that more of a message that you want to communicate. Now, I'm not saying this should be a hard push ad type thing. You know, like you wouldn't be, you know, join us for our, you know, come take a lesson from us or what have you. It probably wouldn't be a hard push, but it might be a link back to your website or something that is going to, maybe it's educational in nature so that you're getting your message out to your fans. So, and how you're doing that is you're sort of leveraging your edge rank that you've grown from posting things that people like to interact with. And one of the things to think about when you're doing this is why we believe a content strategy, oops, we lost the slides, Chad, is really important, because your content strategy is really how you're communicating your brand. And so you want to be thinking about, as you're using visual content, about how that fits into your content strategy as a whole, because that makes a big difference when it comes down to, Chad's trying to confuse me here, makes a big difference when it comes down to Facebook actually working for your business. The other thing that we found was, and I don't know what's wrong with horse people, but you all seem to really like the, when we did stuff that was making fun of another, well, not exactly making fun of another rider, but everybody really seems to like the wipeout shots. So just saying. The other thing that you can use visuals for, and you want to think about them for, is that you can use them to promote events or for products. I think this is the National Reining Horse Association's was their cover photo for a day or two. But it can be a great, using images can be a really great way to promote things. So, you know, whether it's a horse for sale, and for sure all of you are going to be wanting to think about that, whether it's videos and horses for sale, a little tip to think about is when you do post a video or a picture of a horse that's for sale, in the description, you, like what you would post for your status post or what have you, put a link to your website or a landing page of sorts, which we will talk about during the boot camp, is how to develop really great landing pages, but somewhere where you can actually progress the sale. Most of the time, those sales are going to happen off of Facebook, so you want to be thinking about, if you've posted a photo that you are using to promote an event or to sell a product or a service, that you are giving people a way to contact you. And we can go into more depth about that during the Q&A as well, if you would like to. And I think it's back to you, Chad.
Sure, yeah. I just want to add on to that. You know, horse people love seeing pictures of other horses and other horse people. So, you know, think about that when you're out at the shows and when you're, you know, even at your home, if you're an instructor and you're giving lessons, you know, maybe have somebody take some images of that and use that as a marketing you know, and put some, you know, just a comment on it as well too. You know, it could be a great way to market your business and see that, you know, basically people are having fun, people are doing well. So it can be a very good marketing and communication tool